What's up, YouTube? This is Nivan Gajral, and have you heard about the term investing? You probably have, because it's a huge term described to when we're investing our money into something that will give us a long-term benefit. The most common way of doing this is through an initial public offering. These methods allow people to buy shares of companies to support the company, and then those shares can be traded in later on for a higher amount of money if the company grows. This field of crowdfunding has pretty much stayed the same since its existence in the 1600s. However, a new form of crowdfunding has been becoming more popular now. It's called the term initial coin offering. Through the ICOs, it's basically instead of you buying shares of companies, you're buying a token, which is like a cryptocurrency for a company. If you're buying this cryptocurrency, you're basically giving the company money in exchange for that cryptocurrency. And then people can exchange that cryptocurrency either to buy products at their store, or they can exchange the cryptocurrency in the future when the company grows. So to try out this new crowdfunding tactic, I created my own ICO called the Niviecoin ICO and tried to see how it would work in a demo. First, let's see a demo of how it works, and then let's explain how it actually works in the backend and how the code works. So here's the demo for the ICO. First, we'll deploy the project. And once we deploy the project, we have access to the contract. And the contract gives us access to a bunch of different features, which we set up in our code. First, let's look into the buy feature to see how we can buy Niviecoin. First, we have to enter the address of the user, and then we have to set up how much Niviecoin we're buying. After we click transact, we will be able to have access to the block. And here's an example of what the block would look like in the blockchain. Now let's look at how we can sell. And it's basically similar to purchasing, but instead you're just putting in the number of Niviecoin you want to actually sell. In this case, we're selling 1 Niviecoin. And when we click transact, we have access to the block, which we can see on the blockchain. Well, that was a demo for how the Niviecoin ICO works. Now let's see how the backend of it works. So in the GitHub of the project, we have all the code, which basically describes how the ICO works, how people can buy and sell it, and how all of the functionality of that's going to work. So in the beginning, we are first using Solidity. And a little bit about Solidity is that Solidity is the code for the Ethereum blockchain. In order to run code on it, you need to use this coding language. So we're using Solidity to allow us to vitalize the Ethereum blockchain. Next, we're using this function of a class called contract. Contract is basically a smart contract. And since we don't need to reinvent the whole wheel of recreating what a contract actually is, it's already there and we can just vitalize it for our ICO. So then we just set up all the name. And here's where all of this code will take place. So let's go with the first part of how we're initially setting this up. At the beginning, we're setting up how much max Niviecoin is there going to be. So in an ICO, there's only a certain amount and it cannot exceed that certain amount. So we need to know what is the max limit of how much coin we'll have. So in this case, we have 1 million coins available for sale. Next, we're describing the conversion rate between US dollars and Niviecoin. So it's basically describing how much can $1 US get you in Niviecoin. So in this case, 1,000 Niviecoin is worth $1. Next, we need to describe how much Niviecoin has actually been bought by the investors. And this is important to describe because we need to not make sure this number passes 1 million. So we constantly need to use this number to check against this number to see if we actually have Niviecoin available. Next, we need to get the addresses of the investor. And an address is basically like your account. In Ethereum, each person has their own unique address where all of the things that they have are under that account. So we need to make sure we have those addresses so we can get their equity in Niviecoin and also get their equity in US dollars because we're tracking both of these amounts. So in the beginning, we're testing out if the investor can buy it through looking at if the US dollars that they're investing times our conversion rate plus the total number of Niviecoin bought is less than the max Niviecoin. So basically what this means is that we're taking how much Niviecoin was already bought. Right now it's 0, so this value is just 0. And since we're asking them, how much money do you want to invest in Niviecoin? Let's say they want to buy $100 worth of Niviecoin. Then we need to multiply that by the conversion rate to see how much Niviecoin can that actually bring you. Next, we're getting the equity of how much does the investor actually have currently in Niviecoin. So we're just getting that by looking at their address and getting that value from their address. Next, we're doing the same thing for the US dollars, where we're getting their address and seeing if they have equity in US dollars and seeing how much that is. So now we've basically set up what the Niviecoin is and setting up the key backend of it. And then this part is basically just this test to make sure if they can buy it. So now if all the tests have been passed, let's check to see how someone would go about buying Niviecoin. So in this function where we're buying Niviecoin, we have two parameters. One is the address of the investor, because this is where everything needs to take place. So in pretty much all the functions, we're going to be asking for the address. Next, we have the US dollars that they're investing. So how much US dollars do they actually want to put into Niviecoin? Now we have the US dollars that they're trying to invest. We're going to multiply that by the conversion rate to see how much Niviecoin that will get you. Then we want to add the Niviecoin that they're buying to the total amount of Niviecoin that is available under their account. So we're adding the number to their account. Finally, we just need to add to the total Niviecoin bought by how much this investor bought, and it's just going to increase that number. So if an investor wants to sell like the coin later down in the future, how would they go about it? So we're taking two parameters, address and how much Niviecoin do they want to sell. Let's say this investor who had 10,000 Niviecoin wanted to sell 5,000 of that. So what we would do is take how much Niviecoin they're selling and take it away from their account. Next, we're going to subtract the amount of Niviecoin that they're selling from the total that is bought, so we can make sure that there is more Niviecoin available. So these were just like the functions of how the Niviecoin is set up and how the Niviecoin ICO works. If you want to see this code yourself, there will be a link in the description where you can have a link to this and see how it works. Thanks so much for watching the video. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like the video. And if you're new, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. If you want to see me make another demo video, because this is one of my first demo videos since my first demo video in 2019 December, I have a bunch of projects in my archive, so I'd be willing to do demos on them and explaining how they work. If you want to see those, please comment that down below. If you want to see the code for this specific project on the Niviecoin ICO, check the link in the description where there will be a link to the GitHub page for this code. Well, in the meantime, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.